Hi everybody. Before I figure out how to play Age of Wonders 4 and not kill my audio card, let's take a look at Dev Diary 51 of the Sarhal update. Maybe the first Sarhal lore Dev Diary, which got me, slightly pumped up for the next expansion. This one is covering the Tanizu, Dakinshi and Antmvura, located in eastern Sarhal. The Tanizu, Dakinshi and Antmvura are three sister people descended from the humans living in Tanizu land, who once dominated much of East and South Sarhal. They share a common inclination towards matriarchy and highly religious structures. The Tanizu and Dakinshi follow their indigenous faith known as beast memory, while the Antmvura practice the righteous path brought to East Sarhal by young merchants from Ziujut. Beast memory is a religion organized around the myth of three heroic beasts who saved humanity from the wrath of the creator god. These three beasts are known as brave mongoose, wise leopard, and selfless elephant. It is believed that their spirits led the ancestors in the ancestral realm, and the faithful honor the three heroic spirits as they do the spirits of their own ancestors. An important part of the practice of beast memory is the performance of communal rituals. Many of these require the participation of a leader figure from outside the village. They require an outside authority because the villagers vest that authority in an outsider when they offer to be led by them. The relationships formed by these dependencies are the social and political glue of Tanizu and Dakinshi society. Adherents of the beast memory believe that all living animals, including humans, have an ancestral kinship. Practitioners of natural magic are common among the Tanizu and Dakinshi, as well as animal companions, both mundane and magical. The Tanizu and their offshoots are perhaps most notable for the shape-shifting abilities that are common among them. Blessed by nature spirits known as brave mongoose, wise leopard, and selfless elephant, Tanizu shifters are powerful warriors capable of besting a dozen men in single combat or wrestling a troll into submission. Shifters come in three varieties, each able to take the forms of different beasts or hybrid forms. Mongoose shifters can take the form of a dire mongoose. They are known to be charismatic, brave, and ambitious, like their patron, brave mongoose. Leopard shifters can take the form of a dire leopard. They take after their patron wise leopard by being cunning, patient, and even-handed. Elephant shifters can take the form of a dire elephant. Like their patron, selfless elephant, they are compassionate, stolid, and empathic. Among the Tanizu and Dakinshi, most shifters become leading members of warrior lodges that form much of the basis of secular politics in their land. Among the Antmvura, most shifters join a monastic order, furthering the interests of their family by moving up the ranks. Becoming a shifter is a matter of ritual. During the coming-of-age ceremonies practiced by the Tanizu and their offshoots, young Tanizu briefly contact the spirits responsible. It is during this time that they might earn the favor of the spirit and become a shifter. This is not limited to those of Tanizu blood, and outsiders or converts who undertake the sacred rituals can become a shifter, though such is rare. The Tanizu are organized into loose tribal confederations, each named after the totem of the leading tribe. Each leader of the confederation is elected and is responsible for the performance of the most important rituals, as well as leading the moiety in times of war. The Tanizu have no nobility and make no distinction of birth in choosing leaders. Any member of the tribe can lead so long as they are able. Each member of the tribe is assigned to a party based on their year of birth. From among the party is chosen a representative whose duty is to choose the leader of the tribe and represent the interest of their party. This system is uncountably ancient and believed to be handed down by the earliest ancestors who follow its like in the ancestral realm. Tanizu familial relations are extremely complex due to the Tanizu practicing fully polygamous marriages without restriction on gender. A child of one spouse is considered the child of all other spouses, and this means the Tanizu have large networks of kinship among them. The Tanizu have a variety of warrior lodges that induct young members upon coming of age. These lodges are responsible for training youth in the mysteries of the ancestors and wield a great deal of political power because of it. These are institutions that cross tribal lines, and the Tanizu war leader's success or failure is largely dependent on their ability to convince the lodges to stand behind them. The Society of the Leopard is one such warrior lodge that has a notable position due to handling the bulk of trade among the Tanizu. Its members form a tight-knot group that are trusted both for their ability to act as mediators and for the services they provide in facilitating trade. Not only humans live in Tanizu tribes. Some of the southern confederations have small lizard folk tribes among their number. In general, the Tanizu are welcoming towards all races, used to inhuman shifter forms and practicing a faith that teaches kinship in all creatures. The exception to this are trolls and swamp hags, who they view as demonic creatures and kill on sight. The Dakinshi, under the leadership of the death-bringing Cobra clan and Venom Risker dynasty, once ruled most of coastal East Sarhal as vassals of the Jinaka Sultanate, an ancient state in the lands of the south, before eventually becoming an independent empire known as Dakinshi in the wake of the Jinaka's collapse. In 1444, they are a shattered collection of bandits and warlords, driven by a 200-year-long civil war. The lands of the Dakinshi are extremely rich in copper and gold, which was the key to their wealth and power. It was the depletion of many of these gold mines that helped lead to the strife and chaos of the civil war. Dakinshi society is more hierarchical than that of the Tanizu, with a shamanic nobility that is led by their shaman queens, known as Namingos. They practice a form of religious feudalism, where the Namingo is acknowledged as the highest spiritual authority and bestows their authority with the spirits to those ruled by them. The Dakinshi practice similar marriage customs as their Tanizu cousins. Dakinshi marriages acknowledge one spouse as supreme, and all children of lesser spouses are considered to belong to the primary spouse. The households formed via these relationships are the basis of Dakinshi society, with lesser spouses being responsible for tending to fields or performing other useful work for the household. A lesser household might only consist of a few wives and husbands, but one with the wealth of a ruler will have a household numbering in the hundreds, with the attendant amount of potential heirs. Marriage to the ruler is a route to power which can bypass many restrictions of Dakinshi society, and a great deal of politicking surrounds the ruler's choice of spouses and the designation of favorite heirs. The Dakinshi language is known as Dakinshi. It differs from Tanizu due to a variety of loanwords introduced by refugees from Jinaka. These refugees, though now fully integrated into Dakinshi culture, once formed a caste of scribes during the days of Dakinshi. A part of their legacy is that written Dakinshi uses the Gini alphabet, also used by other people of East Sarhal. Mwasagore Gulimbazi Mnepa, the great-granddaughter of the legendary warlord Gulimbazi Three-Teeth, who almost reunited the kingdom of Dakinshi in his day. Mwasagore rules over the important port city of Kaziradoka, one of the few major centers of commerce left in the war-ravaged land. Mwasagore is the most powerful of the warlords in paper terms, but her position is tenuous. It will take a woman of skill to see Mwasagore realize the ambitions of her grandfather, skill that she might not have. Quizera Snake Killer. Quizera is the most personally powerful of the warlords, being both a mongoose shifter and a powerful evocation mage. In her younger days, she was known by the title of Gatebreaker for her ability to do just that, but earned the title of Snake Killer after slaughtering the ruling members of the death-bringing Cobra clan and taking their lands for herself. She is as cruel as she is powerful, and her enemies have her recent gruesome execution of her political rivals to look at for a taste of what their fates might be. Quizera only seeks personal power. Those she cannot break or bind, she will kill, and it seems likely that her might will see Dakinshi land be hers. Akaliza Frog Friend. A wandering hero risen to warlord, Akaliza is known for both her great strength and her calm demeanor. She rules over the northern territories of Dakinshi land and maintains an uneasy relationship with the Antmvura who border her realm. She is aided by the enigmatic Rufaro, an immortal talking frog of strange provenance who has advised her family for generations and is practically a father to her. Rufaro is wise and Akaliza has a hero's heart, but she lacks the armies to triumph over Moasagore or Quizera without allies. Umutukomye Snake Killer. One of Quizera's wives, who rules as her vassal, Umutukomye is a former bandit whose skill was enough to earn her a job rather than an execution. The most powerful of Quizera's direct subjects, she despises her subordinate position to her wife and is constantly looking for the opportunity to slip her leash. Gahigi Mushubi. Gahigi is a minor warlord who took advantage of the loose nature of rulership in Dakinshi land to become the ruler of a small fiefdom, justifying his actions as being in the name of his liege, Moasagore. Cunning and an effective leader, Gahigi is also joined by the Okapi animal companion, Shongwe, who accompanies him in battle and guards his person. Death-bringing Cobra. Not truly a warlord, the remnants of the old ruling clan of Dakinshi has managed to persist into the present day. They were briefly successful in establishing themselves, but Quizera's coup slaughtered their leadership and forced the remnants of the clan into the hills. Leaderless as they are, the death-bringing cobras do not seem a threat to any of the warlords fighting to claim the mantle of their former empire. But something dark stirs in the mountains, and only honor and caution stand in its way. The Antmvura are an offshoot of the Dakinshi who were influenced by Yan traders from Xiujut during the era of Dakinshi. Most of these traders came from the port of Quihok, and many Antmvura can claim some familial connections with Yan living there today. Antmvura society is highly regimented, with most people's lives being determined by their birth and the dictates of their elders, something they see as an opportunity for great honor in serving their family well. Each family operates a trades guild, having an effective monopoly on a particular craft, such as cloth weaving within their region. The families jealously guard their monopolies, and open warfare has been fought over commercial territory or even because of a third party's use of a rival's goods within a family's territory. They are politically organized into an alliance of city-states known as the Republic of Butuguzi, ruled by the 17 families, a collection of the most powerful and influential guild families among the Antmvura. The position of chairmistress is largely a figurehead, effectively given out as a part of the true deal-making that runs the Republic. The lands of the Antmvura are the origin of the coffee plant, and coffee is still grown there in large quantities. Despite the historic status of the coffee, it is considered inferior to Bulvari breeds of coffee bean, and this is in part responsible for the commercial decline of Butuguzi. The flag of Butuguzi represents the virtues that the alliance seeks to uphold. It is written in the ancient language of the genies, just like all other written forms of Dakinshi. What can we expect from gameplay in the region? The first major thing we should know is that the shifters are represented in game as ruler personalities. These power personalities can only show up for rulers in the Tanizu culture group, with a few exceptions they'll talk about in a later dev diary. They have a special interaction with the beast memory religion, and AI rulers with the personalities will be a lot more proactive in the world. Speaking of beast memory, the religion functions via a rotating bonus representing which heroic beast is currently leading the ancestors, which unlocks church power actions. There are also a number of flavor events tied to the religion, like gaining an animal companion, all of which will certainly immerse us during our playthroughs. This was a very insightful and interesting dev diary, and I really appreciate this in-depth description of these new, unique cultures. My tribe of choice, after going through this text, are the Tanizu, and I'm quite excited to see them in action in this new world. I'm also happy to have the chance to see the African models finally march across Halan. I would like to thank the development team for sharing the work on this new massive update, and thank you for sticking around and listening to this. A special thanks goes to the Patreons and members. May the Brave Mongoose, the wise leopard, and the selfless elephant guide you well. Ciao.